Whilst the gaming world is abuzz right now, eagerly awaiting the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, many gamers have gone back to older Rockstar Games titles. GTA 4 and 5 are popular choices, as well as both Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, but a hidden gem of Rockstar that released a whopping 18 years ago was Bully, or Canis Canem Edit, depending on your location in the world. Being a fan of secrets and Easter eggs in titles, and understanding that Rockstar are pretty well known for implementing such things into their video games, I thought I'd put together a list for you all of some of the most favourited secrets in the town of Bullworth. Welcome to the video, you're listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming. If you enjoy the following, you all know what to do, and if you're new here and not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. Each secret will be allocated its own chapter for the video, so if you're watching one you know already, you have the easy option to skip on over to the next. With that being said, and please be aware that there'll be spoilers ahead, let's get into what we came here to see. The best Easter eggs and secrets of Bully. To start things off, I want to show you one that can be considered pretty difficult to find, as it only occurs after a specific time, 8 PM. In the northern part of the map, and forgive me as I'm not great with the area names, there's the town church. Coming here late at night, the player may encounter an audio from a preacher giving a sermon, and with no crowd noise in the background, it appears he's allegedly practicing for the morning time. Secondly, during Chapter 2, we're introduced to a mission simply titled Halloween. During this, the kids of Bullworth Academy dress up accordingly and play pranks on one another, before pulling the ultimate prank on one of the teachers. What some may not have noticed is that the costume that protagonist Jimmy Hopkins is wearing is actually a replica from the first installment of the famous movie franchise, The Karate Kid. Members of the rivaling Cobra Kai Karate Club during Halloween one night can be seen wearing the exact same costume that Jimmy Hopkins chooses to attire himself in. On a side note, Jimmy's friend and lovable outcast Pete can be seen sporting a pink bunny rabbit costume. This is also a reference to another movie title, 1983's A Christmas Story, where the character of Ralphie, portrayed by a young Peter Billingsley, is seen wearing a very similar costume. Halloween costumes aren't the only movie references that can be found in this 2006 title, and some are not so obvious to players. Heading to the Blue Skies Industrial Park, an area which doesn't open up until later in the title, more specifically the electricity plant, where Jimmy would later battle the leader of the townie's faction, Edgar, the player may come to realise that the entrance gates to the plant look somewhat familiar. The two triangular posts holding up an overhead sign are actually a reference to the 1993 Steven Spielberg classic, upon where the entrance gate is a clear inspiration for the electricity plant. Everyone will remember the popular animated television series South Park, but have you noticed the subtle reference during a dialogue in Bully between a few of the characters? In the Chapter 3 mission, titled Wrong Part of Town, Jimmy Hopkins is tasked by the nerds of the school in rescuing their friend Algie. Johnny, leader of the Greasers, a rivaling faction, believes that his girlfriend Lola is being unfaithful, and Algie is a bit on the side. Jimmy must rescue Algie from the clutches of the gang and bring him back to safety. When Jimmy finds Algie, he is with Lola, and after the girl insults him, he says the following.
I thought that me and you...
Shut up, fatso!
Big bones, not fat.
I thought you liked me.
This is an obvious reference to Cartman's famous line spoken in the animated show.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
For many years, Rockstar Games have squeezed their company logo into their titles, and in Bully, they've done it once more. Although a small Easter egg, it's still considered. In the town of Bullworth, at multiple locations, the player can find the Easy Drugs Pharmacy. Displayed both in the window and atop the entrance to the doorway, a red R-Star logo is placed, an obvious reference to Rockstar Games themselves. It's not only the Rockstar logo that the company has implemented into the game when it comes to referencing themselves or their past work. During shop class, where Jimmy Hopkins is tasked with repairing bicycles, there's a short cutscene when entering the classroom, displaying some of the other pupils, mainly the greasers, working on two different vehicles. Some may recognise these cars from the Grand Theft Auto series as models for the Stallion and Regina, a nice nod back to the likes of GTA San Andreas for example. In the more wealthier part of town, the player can discover the Aquaberry clothing store, and due to its exorbitant prices, seems only popular with the preps of Bulworth Academy. What some may not have realised is that the title of the store is actually derived from two real-life clothing brands that were popular in the UK during the early to mid-2000s, Aquaberry and Filbee. Why choose these two particular stores as a reference? Well, the United Kingdom was the birthplace of Dan and Sam Houser, lead guys behind Rockstar Games. It's a simple nod to the home life of the two brothers. There's not only a hidden interaction in the town of Bulworth, but also a hidden site as well as a piece of attire. Not far from the docks to the southern area of the town, Jimmy can swim to a sunken pirate ship, and nearby on the land is an apparent gentleman who is part of its crew. Successfully battling this out-of-time character will unlock one of the secrets of the game, a special pirate hat. Jimmy is able to find and equip this item of clothing at any wardrobe. As the player enters Chapter 2 of the title, we're introduced to the more open world aspect, as opposed to the opening segment where we're locked inside the school grounds. Immediately, Jimmy can treat himself to a night at the travelling carnival, located in the western region of the city. At this carnival, the player can partake in a number of activities where they can win special tickets, including a dunk tank and a high striker game. After accruing the desired amount of tickets, Jimmy can visit the nearby souvenirs tent where these tickets can be exchanged for goods. But something that players may not have realised is that a couple of the posters that can be purchased will be immediately displayed upon the walls of Jimmy's personal room back at the school, just in case you were wondering where they actually ended up after he's bought them. For number 10, we have another movie reference. At the most northern part of Bulworth, the player will find the location setting of the town hall, but an Easter egg that some may have missed is the time upon the clock face of the building. Unlike some other titles, where the clock would transition along with the in-game world time, this one is settled a little after 10. This is a direct reference to the popular 1985 Back to the Future movie, where the clock played a pivotal role in Doc Brown's time-travelling abilities. A nice little kickback to one of the all-time classics. During Chapter 4 of Bully, Jimmy tasks himself with taking on the most powerful of factions concerning Bulworth Academy, the Jocks, but in order to do this, he needs a little help. Jimmy seeks the assistance of the Nerd faction, who are at first very reluctant to help the boy. Jimmy must beat up the Nerds into giving information to help him on his mission in finding their leader, Ernest. Ernest is in the observatory, the Nerd stronghold, but unfortunately the access point is blocked by a coded security gate. It doesn't take much doing to obtain the key, just a couple of punches thrown by the protagonist against a much weaker enemy. The code is revealed to be 1138. 1138 is a huge reference to legendary film director George Lucas, who's not only included these numbers in some shape or form into most, if not all of his films, but was actually included in the title of one of his most earlier popular creations, the futuristically set THX 1138. For this secret stroke Easter egg, we need to jump to the final mission of the main story of the game, in a mission titled Complete Mayhem. There's actually two Easter eggs in the same section of this mission, so I've rolled them both into one chapter. During Complete Mayhem, the school had turned itself upside down. Every faction is fighting against the other in a massive brawl for all, and Jimmy must find and defeat the leaders of each faction in an attempt to bring an end to the ensued chaos created by arch-nemesis Gary Smith. The factions have seized control of several sections of the school that's normally outside of their boundaries, and it's the nerds at the school's gymnasium who need our attention for this secret. The green-clad faction have built a bonfire in the centre of the indoor gym and are dancing around it as if it's a shrine or a sacrifice of some sort. Well, to be honest, it kind of is. After defeating the group, if you inspect the flames a little more closely, you'll uncover a mannequin that resembles Jimmy Hopkins himself, in what's actually the beta model design for Jimmy. Secondly, the Bulworth Bull mascot head that's burning is a reference to the 1963 film Lords of the Flies, in which a very similar pose is struck after the killing of an unfortunate pig. I understand that the game of Bully is 18 years old as of this recording, but hopefully you may have learned something you didn't know, or maybe even something you potentially forgot. If you did, you all know what to do. Of course, if you're new here and aren't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. If you wish to see a second video on this same title, or have any gaming video ideas in general that you wish to see me cover, be sure to let me know in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and with that being said, thank you for watching. You've been listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming, and I'll see you in the next video.